am not going to assume you like to exercise, and I'm not going to assume you hate it either. I'm not going to assume you're healthy. I'm not going to assume if you're in shape or out of shape. I am not going to assume that you are ready to rock and roll this. In fact, I'm not going to assume that you're happy about this at all. Finally, get back to a life with exercise, and this is your first step. We're going to start getting you moving. I'm Lyn Lindbergh, your bad couch guru. Welcome to the Couch to Active podcast, where I believe that exercise should not be dreadful, but getting off the couch is the hardest thing we do. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited for today's podcast. It is, yes, drum roll please, finally here. This is the first of our book series. We are going to be walking together through the Couch to Active book, section by section in order. You don't even have to own the book for this series of podcasts to make sense for you. When I wrote this book, I was looking to answer one question for people, and that is how to do the exercise you know you need to do, but just struggle to actually ever get it done. That's it. That's simple. And it has resonated with so many people because I don't represent any marketing firm at all. I don't represent any protein powder. I'm not selling any fitness gadget or equipment or program at all. I'm simply purely helping people get off the couch and on to doing what they want to do. And when I wrote it, I thought, wouldn't that be great if I won a book award? I had no idea that this book would sweep all the book awards for the fitness categories. And it has won 6 awards in health and fitness categories this year alone. So it's pretty much just taken the cake on all of them. And I put a request out to a group of fitness influencers that I know and said, hey, if you like this message and you like this book, can you promote it for me? And with one email, I got 60 fitness influencers who are excited to promote it, excited to share this message of flipping everything fitness on its head, taking everything marketing has told us about what we should and shouldn't do for exercise and fitness, and re-looking at how exercise and activity actually fits in our lives and how we can actually conquer the couch. We are changing lives, ladies and gentlemen. In this episode, we are covering the welcome sections of the book. So if you are following along, we're going to talk about the very beginning of the book through page 20. I am not reading the book. I'm giving you highlights and my thoughts and some of my crazy ideas behind where this came from. And at the end of each one of these podcasts in the book, I am going to do something fairly bold, and I'm already regretting it, but I'm going to stick to it and do it anyway. And that is, at the end of each podcast, I'm going to distill down that entire section of the book that we're focusing on into one thing. So if you just take one thing out of that whole section, what is the one thing I think would be the most impactful to your life right now, today? I'm also going to share the one thing I wish for you. So of everything in that section of the book, I am going to share what is the one thing that I hope will result in your life out of this section of the book and what that could look like for you. So that'll be at the end of each one of these weeks. And I tell you, it's a lot harder than I thought it would be because, as the author of this book, I think it's all important. I think you should do all of it. And I think you should get the book and that this book should be your Bible for the next 2 months. I'm not biased at all, am I? So, ladies and gentlemen, this marks the beginning of you embarking on a journey of 2 months to conquer the couch. Commit with me to working through all of these weeks, and it will change your life, and it will change the lives of people around you. This is so important because you know you need to exercise. Darn it, right? You want to figure it out. And the people who do go through all of this and figure it out I gotta tell you, they are more jazzed than I've seen them in a long, long time because they realize they have more empowerment than they ever realized they had. This is attainable. This is something they can do. And it doesn't have to be a freaking chore or to-do list. It really can be better than that. And people see not just the aspiration of that, but the brass tacks of exactly how to do it and why it's important. And if you're a fitness influencer, if you're a personal trainer, you teach in a gym, maybe you're a healthcare provider and you're telling people all day, every day, you need to exercise more. And maybe you're a physical therapist and you're thinking, oh, if they would just figure out how to do these exercises, life would be better for them. Listen to all 8 of these also because you are going to learn more insights into the mindset of our nation, into why just telling people to exercise doesn't work. Because if it did, we would all be really fit, as to why having exercise available and programs galore available doesn't work. Because if it did, we would all be in great shape. For fitness professionals and people in the medical profession, your people already know they need to exercise more. They don't need to be told that. Because if telling them that would help them, they would already be in good shape. But right now in our nation, only 21% of us are getting the exercise that we need. So make this commitment to yourself today. You're going to work through the whole program. We've got 8 more weeks ahead of us. At the end of each episode, I'm going to tell you what that one thing is. And then you commit to completing at minimum that one thing, and it will change your life for the better. It will help you get off the couch more often, and it will help you feel better about it, which is really what it's all about. Now, here's what I'm not going to do. I am not going to give any medical advice, and I don't want you to be giving each other any medical advice. I'm not going to prescribe you specific exercises. You're not going to hear me say, ooh, on Tuesday, you should do a mile around the track, 20 push-ups, and 50 jumping jacks. Like, you're not going to hear that from me. That's not what we're about. I am not going to assume you like to exercise, and I'm not going to assume you hate it either. I'm not going to assume you're healthy. I'm not going to assume if you're in shape or out of shape. I am not going to assume that you are ready to rock and roll this. In fact, I'm not going to assume that you're happy about this at all. And I'm not going to assume that you're clueless when it comes to exercise. I know you're not. I know you've exercised before in your life. I know you have a clue. And I'm not going to recommend any protein powders, potions, lotions, fat burners, expensive programs. That's not what this is all about either. This is about transforming your life and building a happier, healthier life. And you get to choose what that looks like. And the big kahuna of all of it, I'm not focused on weight. What you're going to find is that I care about you building a life you love. I care about you feeling better about the topic of exercise. I care about you being able to advocate for yourself in this space. And that will translate into a happier life for you. And that really is irregardless of weight. And let me tell you, you already know this. There's enough people talking about weight out there, mostly because it's a great magnet to get people to click on things, which is really annoying. So we are not focused on weight here either, because I know you're getting hit with it everywhere. And a discussion of weight isn't what's going to help you actually get off the couch more for the most part. I am assuming that you already know this is important and you don't need a lecture from me about exercise and health. You already know you need to do this. So here's what I'm going to offer you today. While supplies last a limited quantity. If you finish all the weeks of this podcast and really pay attention to the one thing at the end of each one of these, you can write into me at beawesome@couchtoactive.com with your name and your mailing address, and I will personally mail you a free I Am Active Finisher sticker. I've got a stack of them sitting here with me on the official teal velvet couch. Okay, here we go. So a little bit about the welcome section of this book. I wrote it to help put people in a really great mindset to help you break through what you normally think of when it comes to the topic of exercise. In order to do this really successfully, there's a few things you need to do. And one of them is you need to commit right away to quit forcing yourself to do exercises you abso-freaking-lutely hate. And as I call it, no more exercise we hate. I tell ya, I am really good about getting my exercise in nowadays. But I don't want to cram myself into somebody else's box, grit out exercises I hate for an hour every day just to check off a box and say, woohoo, I did it. And I don't want to force myself to like types of exercise that I really don't like. And you shouldn't have to either, because remember, our sedentary lifestyle crisis really happened at the same time that gyms and programs became more and more available. So there is not a direct correlation between a gym and a trainer and your ability to get the exercise you need. Now, do gyms and trainers help? If you like them and you think they will help you, then absolutely. Are they for everybody? Absolutely not. And part of that is because the gym in your neighborhood might be awesome, but the gym in my neighborhood might completely suck or be full of people that stare at me and make me feel really creepy. So everyone's situation is different, and we want to respect that. So no more exercise you hate. Commit to that right now. The second one is, even though this is the beginning of this journey of couch to active, you don't need to start exercising right away. You don't need to design yourself a program and jump full on in and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do this time. That's what marketing tells you to do. That's because people marketing fitness programs to you have something to sell you to open up your wallet. And the only way they can do that is if they get you to jump into something full head on in. And if you have a history of trying program after program and you get 2 workouts into it or 3 weeks into it and you quit over and over again, that's hard to keep coming back from over and over and over again. So I don't want you to jump full on in and start exercising like crazy when you haven't before. I do want you to know what the Centers of Disease Control recommends for minimum exercise. And the reason I want you to do this is because I researched this globally too. I thought, okay, if the United States recommends this amount of exercise, what does France recommend? What does Africa recommend? What does South Africa versus West Africa recommend? What does Japan recommend? What does China recommend? Russia, they all recommend the same thing. So either they're right or everyone's just copying everybody. But it is funny that globally, being active is the one thing we all agree on. And we'll talk more about that later. But the funny thing is being active is one thing that we globally recommend. So if you haven't done this already, I've got a resource where I took the CDC's report and put it into a resource that makes it easy to understand what we mean by minimum exercise recommendations and what that can look like in your life. So I've got that resource for you on couch2active.com/me. That's /ME, me. It's super easy to remember. You can download that resource right now, actually, couch2active.com/me. Download that. You could be looking at it right now already, that fast. The next thing is I want you to let go of your bikini body goals and start shifting your mindset to being a human that's more at peace with yourself. Not necessarily happy, happy, happy. Everyone says health and happiness, health and happiness. It's if you Google, every fitness website says, I want you to be healthy and happy. I want you to just feel more peace and really look at your life through this process and figure out what is it that's going to make you feel happier. And I know the bikini body is a very powerful thing in our society and our culture, and there's a lot behind it. But for today, for once, shift your focus from primarily a bikini body goal to a peaceful mind and a peaceful heart. Stick with me. You'll understand a lot more about what that is as we go through the rest of this. I want you to avoid the pitfall of skipping or speed listening to this podcast. Don't go and skip to the end of every single one. Oh, Lynn says she'll have one thing at the end of each podcast, so I'm going to skip through and just grab that one thing. With this podcast, we're already distilling the book down to just a few key points. And the book itself is distilled down from a program. So So don't speed listen, don't speed read. And then avoid criticizing yourself. Yeah, let me say that again. Avoid criticizing yourself. When we pause and really think about exercise in our lives, it's a hard topic. And I do my darndest to make it fun and make light of it and laugh and joke. But the only reason I do that is because every time we really look deep, it's a hard topic for us, full of shame and criticism. And so do your best to not criticize yourself. Do your best to be kind to yourself throughout this whole process. Give yourself permission to be kind to yourself. And if you're more of a research-minded person like me, there's a really great body of research that's come out recently that says that actually being kind to yourself and having compassion as you grow and change is a key indicator for successfully making change. And that old antiquated way that we were raised that said you need to be hard on yourself and push yourself, and it's really good at making us feel deeply about it, but it's not really good at actually bringing about change. And one more thing in the first section of the book is I ask you to make your first plan for exercise. Now, we're just getting started. And some of you may feel like you're just dusting the wheels off and the engine is rusty and you're not even sure what to do and you're afraid you're injury prone, which could very likely be true. And so what I want you to do is go to couchtoactive.com/me, download those recommendations about exercise, look at the planner that I have there for you, and then just take a guess at what exercise could look like for you and make it just a little bit more than what you're doing today. And if you're saying, well, I haven't exercised in years, okay, easy enough. Then your little bit more could look like I'm going to get up and walk to the mailbox and back every day. Or your little bit more could be I'm going to go for a 20-minute walk twice a week. Or your exercise could be, I'm going to clean up my bicycle and get it ready to go for a little ride next week. So just a little bit more than what you're doing today. Don't do any big change and really listen to your body because we've got to stay injury-free on this. And we'll talk about that in a future lesson really, really soon. And then if you're asking yourself, wow, that feels like a lot and I need to amp up my success. And what can I do? What tactically can I do to help me succeed more on this? I've got a couple of things for you. Number one, go to your calendar right now. Put in your calendar every Monday morning that there's a new Couch to Active episode there for you. And just have it running from now until infinity and beyond. If you do that, 5 Couch to Active points for you. That way it'll help you not miss these as they come up and you can stay up with us. Second one, if you don't already, get a copy of the book. And number 3, get a friend or a group to join you. If you have a book club, maybe have them do this. If you're part of any fitness group or fitness gym, or if you have friends who want to do this, it really will bond you more as a group of friends because we're going to go deep. So that, my dear Couch to Active friends, is the main summary of the beginning of this book. The real purpose of it is to set you up for success, to get you in the mindset of what this is and what this isn't, and to help get you ready for what's coming up over the next few weeks. And now we've come to the part at the end where I promised you I would give you the one thing I want you to do and the one thing I wish for you. So here it is. For this week, the one thing that you can do that I think will make the most impact for you is I want you to send me an email at beawesome@couchtoactive.com. That's BEAWESOME at couchtoactive.com, all one word. Let me know you're listening to these and tell me what you hope to get out of the next 8 weeks up and coming. Now, the reason this is important is because it will force you to pause and really think through, what do you want to get out of the next 8 weeks? This assignment may be surprisingly tough for you. Don't worry about your spelling. Don't worry about your grammar. You can be raw. You can be real. Whatever comes out, and it's all good. Send me a quick email with those goals that you have for yourself and remind yourself of those goals every day for the next 8 weeks. That's the one thing. And then the one thing that I wish for you is I wish that through this whole process, you will be kind to yourself. We're going to dig deep, and a lot of us are going to be surprised by what's buried down there. But no matter what happens, I really wish you will give yourself compassion. And while you're listening, even if you have trouble giving yourself compassion, know that I am sitting right here on the teal velvet couch, full of compassion and understanding for you. Alrighty, friends, let's get working on those letters to be awesome at couch2active.com. And I am so looking forward to seeing what's going to come of our next 8 weeks together. See you next Monday. Bye-bye now. The full show notes for this episode can be found at couch2active.com/33. That's COUCHTOACTIVE.com/33.